Am I fucking boring? Just seems like a question I've been asking myself a lot lately. I mean, all I've done for the past 3 weeks is eat, study, shower, and sleep. I barely leave my room, let alone the house, if not to go get groceries. None of my roommates are home, and the only people I've texted or called in the last 48 hours were my mom and dad. If you ever get bored to the point of being productive, maybe you understand why I'm making this video, or at least why I cleaned the entire house top to bottom yesterday. But the real answer is no. Or maybe. But it's really just who cares. I've learned that if you're content being with yourself and are able to keep yourself even slightly busy, it's not boring. Maybe it's simple or a slow-paced life, but whether or not someone else finds you boring is irrelevant. The only person you're supposed to please or entertain in this life is you. So if I'm boring, it doesn't really matter unless I find myself boring. Which I do at times, but usually that just means I'm experiencing FOMO or trading in a fun activity to do schoolwork. If that makes me uninteresting, alright. I think genuinely the only way to go through life without caring what other people think or whether or not you're boring, smart, funny, blah, 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 is to just not care. Which is a stupid solution. Don't do that. Stop caring about everything and what else is there. So most of us probably go through these dilemmas often and stress ourselves out, but that's part of life. I've taken my self-proclaimed uninterestingness and turned it into something better. Like making this video, learning how to play guitar, reading a book, baking, just being productive. Boredom is wholly subjective. I probably am super boring compared to a ton of other people, but I can only imagine that there are people out there who have far less on their schedule and don't concern themselves with being interesting. They're just happy with the way things are. So I either have to strive to be more like them or be less boring. Sitting down and recording this now in the middle of the night isn't very exciting from an objective standpoint, but it's interesting. Like, this video in and of itself is neither boring nor not boring. It just is. So yeah, I've spent the better part of this month alone in my room, sleeping till noon and going to bed at 3, doing no other activities outside of schoolwork and scrolling on TikTok and only really talking to my mom and my pharmacist who they were taking way too long on my prescription. I had to call literally every day. I was so bored. And I was a boring person for that time. I guess it's not all black and white, and it's also just not all so serious, regardless of whether I truly am boring or not. If I care, it's a problem. But if I don't care, it's not. But deciding to not care about something is really hard. But when it's like something so arbitrary or abstract, it's a simple mindset shift. You say to yourself, I'm not boring, and boom, it's true. At least it is for you. And like I said earlier, what someone else thinks of you is generally irrelevant. One person finds you boring, and the next could talk to you for hours. Boredom is something you feel. It's not something you impose on others or something that defines your character. Everyone has something they like to do or they find fun. That's the thing that separates you from being boring. I think if you've ever had fun, you can't possibly be all boring. Maybe you are sometimes, like I am, but so is everyone. So am I fucking boring? No, I don't think so, and I don't care what you think. So the answer is no, and that's that. Nice chatting, bye.